Okay, so I'm back with another video today. Today's topic is going to be about the Fortnite item shop because, let's be honest, the Fortnite item shop has lots of problems regarding many things, such as the price, such as the size of it. So today we're just gonna yap about a couple of points on why I feel like Fortnite maybe needs to fix stuff about how they're how they're doing the item shop and changes they could make. But before we do that, I just want you guys to know that we're almost at 300 subs, which is crazy. So it'd be really appreciated if you were maybe subscribed or liked. I'm not forcing you, but it'd be great for the channel. So one of the things that people need to remember about Fortnite is that at the end of the day, it's a free-to-play game, which means it has freemium aspects, such as the item shop, obviously. But it does seem that now some AAA companies like Battlefield, COD, are also adding item shops and all that since as far as like 2018. So it's kind of just become a business tactic for all game studios, free to play to the AAA. But arguably, Fortnite is probably one of the biggest defenders of, gouging the prices. Obviously, because Fortnite is a free-to-play game, obviously the prices will be a bit higher than, maybe another AAA game that you pay to play. But that doesn't change how the prices are, and some of them are pretty insane. People really started to notice these quite crazy price increases when it came to like Chapter 5, maybe Chapter 6, and especially when they added the sidekicks, because some of the prices on the sidekicks are absolutely diabolical. I mean, 1,500 for a fish in a bowl is something I would not pay for. And that's not just limited to the extra items that they're adding along the way. Skins, the main priority of selling, they've also gone up. I mean, it's really rare to just find a raw 800 V-Bucks skin nowadays. Not to mention, most skins you buy nowadays, no matter the price, don't even come with a bat bling, nor a pickaxe if you even wished. Another inclusion we can put here is the also quite recently added kicks, which I wouldn't even pay for, because who wants shoes on a Fortnite skin and really cares about it? I don't think anybody really does. But they're still pricing at least 600 V-Bucks to almost 1,200 V-Bucks for a shoe. Okay, and the final thing I want to talk about when it comes to the prices of the Fortnite item shop is how inconsistent the prices can be. Because sometimes you see skins that have like a deal where it comes with a bat bling and a pickaxe, one example being the Stranger Things skins, that only cost 1,500 V-Bucks. Because this is a good thing, because it gives quite a large discount to a skin that could have costed like 2,300 V-Bucks for just one skin and the bundle. So in my eyes, I feel like this can be a good thing and a bad thing, because at the end of the day, a small item shop can be, more consumer friendly, isn't too intimidating. And example, the Chapter 1 and early Chapter 2 item shops were quite small. I mean, if you look at some Chapter 1 Season 2 ones, it's just one page and probably like 3 skins and a bat bling, which, isn't great, but is what some people find as the ideal way that an item shop should look. Because if you look at the item shop now, it has basically become a former shell of what it once was, because the size of it is massive. It is loaded to the brim with just random collabs, random items that no one's probably going to buy, full sections for just emotes and kicks. It's very much unneeded, and also can be intimidating to the average player that just wants to hop on and maybe buy a skin if they have some V-Bucks, and maybe the overwhelming amount of choices could maybe make them not want to buy something, which is kind of stupid. But in Fortnite's eyes, this is just a way to make more money, and in the viewer's eyes or the player's eyes, it kind of makes them just want to go back to simpler times, which probably has a level of nostalgia to it. But at the end of the day, blinding nostalgia is really something that can get in the way of their players' true feelings about a game, and nostalgia is kind of just a way for Fortnite to just chuck money at it and see if something sticks, and if people like it, like bringing back an old thing, they'll be happy with it. Because to tell you what, Fortnite did a really cool thing with the OG season item shop, which is what they did was they made it really small and people really liked it. Even though Fortnite has implemented things to, gather things in the shop and kind of, give tabs on the side that you can select, so you can kind of find out what's what. But the thing is, those tabs are overwhelming as well, because they just go down and down and down, which kind of just shows Fortnite doesn't need to make their shop like as small as it was in Chapter 1, so say, but just a reasonable size where people aren't intimidated by how many skins and items are in it, and just be normal. Listen, I know we already talked about this in the last video about how the collabs are what makes Fortnite, which is still true, and I still stand by that point. But sometimes you gotta think when enough is enough and too much is too much. Because over the span of Fortnite Chapter 7, which really has not been long, only about a month or so, like I talked about in my last video, which you should totally check out, by the way, it's a very good video. But they've mentioned how it's probably been over like 50 collabs that they've just churned out like in a factory almost. And like I've said, that is what makes Fortnite, but I feel like this just amount of collabs is nothing that we can really take in, because the speciality of collabs is kind of not something that really matters to Fortnite right now, or for the past couple of months, maybe even year. Because at the end of the day, all Fortnite wants is a sweet piece of that fresh dough. So I don't think they're really going to care what they put into the game. But, I mean, there are devs that put lots of effort into, what they make. So I think that's definitely a buff. Because it's not like these collabs are lazy, they're adding skins, which is what you expect from a Fortnite collab nowadays. But maybe adding an item if it's a bigger collab, like recent South Park collab that added a couple of items and like a whole revamped POI. But the major consensus when it comes to collabs in Fortnite is that sometimes people kind of feel like there's not enough effort being put into them, because what we expect nowadays is a skin, a bat blink, maybe an item like we've seen, like I said, with the South Park. But I think people have gotten tired of kind of the norm of how collabs work with, a skin and, a bat blink other item, because I feel like this really opens the gateway for more types of items to be in Fortnite, which is a mixed bag of opinions, obviously, because everybody has different opinions and everybody will think differently to me. But I feel that even though these different items may feel kind of like Fortnite just trying to grab money and put in a cash grab, but I think it also opens up opportunities for different types of things in Fortnite, because if we have a certain collab, like, I don't know, if we had like Godzilla, we already have Godzilla, but let's say we collabed with like an older Godzilla movie where, I know, Godzilla might have a kid. We can use sidekicks and other things that they've already added into the game to, revamp collabs, to heighten their popularity, to make them more entertaining and, more fun. So, in all, I feel like the Fortnite item shop right now is kind of in a state where it's, slightly scuffed and feels cluttered and unfinished. So I feel like when it comes to the shop and, people buying things in Fortnite, I think Fortnite needs to fix, how it looks, what they are putting into the item shop, and not just cramming everything they need into the item shop, or they want, but rather just being a bit more laid back when it comes to what they're adding, and being a bit more customer friendly. Alright, I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, obviously, and maybe check out my other videos. Thanks.